180 AD, 50,000 voices shake the Roman Colosseum. On the sand, gladiators spill blood, lions tear into prisoners, and Emperor Commodus himself prepares to join the slaughter. It is the greatest spectacle in the ancient world. But let's change one thing. Beneath the arena floor, hidden in the tunnels, waits something Rome has never seen. A modern Navy SEAL fire team dropped into a battle they were never trained for. What happens when the most advanced special operators on Earth are unleashed in history's most brutal blood sport? Can they survive wave after wave of gladiators, wild beasts, and the Emperor's Guard? Or is it one team against an empire? A modern SEAL fire team is for operators trained to perfection in every form of violence science has ever refined. They can run a mile and a half in under 10 minutes with nearly 90 pounds of gear strapped to them. They can hit a coin at 300 meters and coordinate seamlessly through encrypted radios that, to Romans, would seem like telepathy centuries before electricity was ever discovered. Each man carries an M4A1 carbine, a selective fire rifle capable of firing 950 rounds of 5.56 mm ammunition per minute. One SEAL is armed with an Mk-48 light machine gun, feeding 7.62 mm NATO rounds at blistering speed. Each carries a 9 mm sidearm, combat knives, 2 or 3 grenades, and one has a 40 mm grenade launcher under his rifle. All of it wrapped in Kevlar helmets and ballistic vests with ceramic plates. Armor that can stop bullets traveling faster than sound. They have night vision goggles, tactical gloves, medical kits, and enough morphine to walk away from a grenade blast. On the killing floor stand professional gladiators, killers who've survived dozens of fights. Murmillos with massive shields and swords, Ruggieri with nets and tridents, Thracians with curved blades designed to slip past shields and into organs. Not criminals forced to fight, but hardened professionals who turn slaughter into an art form. The gates creak open. 2 starving African lions enter the sand. The crowd roars in anticipation. The SEALs spread into a defensive semicircle, rifles raised. The first lion charges, and at 30 meters, 2 shots tear through its chest mid-leap. The second hesitates, confused by the thunder of gunfire centuries too early. 3 more shots, and the king of beasts collapses in the dust. 5 bullets. No injuries. The crowd falls silent. Some whisper they are gods. Others whisper witchcraft. Commodus scowls. 10 criminals are dragged into the arena, promised freedom if they kill the outsiders. They fan out, desperate. The SEALs tighten formation, back to back, rifles covering every angle. At 20 meters, they open fire with precise semi-auto bursts. Men fall before they even move. Within seconds, half the attackers are down. Some drop their weapons and flee. Others, driven by despair, charge, only to be cut down in a storm of automatic fire. 30 rounds, 0 injuries. The sand runs red. Now come the professionals, a Murmillo and a Ruggierius. The net is cast, the crowd gasps, but before it lands, the half-naked fighter takes 2 rounds to the chest and crumples. The Murmillo's massive shield deflects a shot, but a full auto burst stitches from his legs to his head. He collapses in the sand. More gladiators rush in, and an archer takes aim. He never looses an arrow. A 5.56 round punches through his chest first. The rest charge from multiple sides. A grenade arcs through the air, an explosion scatters bodies and sand. Those who survive stumble, deafened, before being gunned down. One gladiator manages to slash at a SEAL's arm, but the blade glances off armor. He doesn't get a second chance. The Emperor escalates. 20 infantry, cavalry, war chariots. The Colosseum erupts in chaos as they advance in formation. The SEALs act first, 2 grenades into their ranks. Twin explosions tear 12 men apart. Limbs scatter across the arena. Gunfire drops more soldiers as arrows whistle overhead. A chariot crashes when its horses are cut down. Another explodes in a spray of sand and broken wood. But one SEAL takes an arrow to the shoulder, the first serious wound. Gritting his teeth, he fights on one-handed, while his brothers cover him with precision fire. When the smoke clears, only the SEALs remain standing. But they're exhausted, each man has just a single magazine left. The Emperor himself steps onto the sand, flanked by 10 Praetorian guards. The Colosseum falls silent. The SEALs form a final circle, backs together, rifles raised. 1 magazine each, a few pistol rounds. That's it. Commodus taunts them in Latin, promising the crowd a spectacle. Instead, a burst of gunfire cuts down two guards. A round grazes the Emperor's arm. The people gasp. Javelins fly. One SEAL goes down, a spear in his thigh. The others empty their rifles into the charging Praetorians, then draw pistols. Commodus charges the wounded man, sword raised, but a single 9mm round tears into his chest. His armor fails, he staggers, and with his last strength, the wounded SEAL drives a combat knife into the Emperor's throat. The ruler of Rome falls gurgling onto the sand, slain by steel 2,000 years too early. The guards freeze, the crowd is stunned, and the SEALs, battered and bleeding, stand victorious over the greatest empire of the ancient world. But how long could they last with no reinforcements, no resupply, and an entire empire rising against them? And if you want to see what happens when a modern submarine faces the Spanish Armada, check out this next battle.